Based on the latest Bold and Beautiful preview, it appears that Sheila's had a change of heart when it comes to Steffi. Why do we say that? Because it appears that the woman who once posed a major threat to Steffi is about to become her protector? Yeah, we definitely didn't see that one coming, but read on for details. Lest anyone forget that Liam is dying, the latest video preview kicks off with him admitting that he has no idea how to say farewell to his daughters. The more cynical among us suspect that will never actually happen. Surely the experimental treatment Grace has suggested will extend Liam's life, perhaps indefinitely. But the real trouble is brewing between Steffi and her in-laws. While it's unclear whether the Forrester exec is talking about Sheila or Luna, one thing is unmistakable: her determination to keep her loved ones safe. She is a monster, Steffi declares, telling Hope and Ridge that they must do anything to keep her away from me and my family. It seems likely she's speaking of Luna, whom Steffi recently caught trying to bond with Finn, and as if to prove us right, Luna is seen talking to her newly found grandma. It seems Luna has finally come to realize that Steffi is about as likely to accept her as she is to let Finn make out with Hope again. That being the case, why don't we just eliminate that threat? The young lunatic suggests, which is where things get interesting. Because while there was a time Sheila would have made that suggestion herself, we're apparently in the age of a kinder, gentler Mrs. Sharp. In fact, as you can see for yourself in the clip below, she shuts that idea down pronto. Will Luna listen to her Grammy, or perhaps convince Sheila that together, they could push Steffi out of the picture and make new memories with Finn? Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, Soap Spectrum. I am Emily here. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Keep watching, so let's dive into today's video. They say that those who don't learn from the past are doomed to repeat it. And in the case of Bold and Beautiful, those means Carter. He had a front row seat to Hope's breakup with Thomas when she refused to accept his marriage proposal. Yet it looks like the week of May 26, Carter is going to pop the question himself. In theory, it should go disastrously for the couple. Carter should be in for the same speeches about how unready Hope is to throw herself into another marriage that she gave Thomas before he went overseas and got engaged to the first woman he could. But the way the spoilers read, it sounds like Hope says yes to Carter. Why else would Mom Brooke be angling to throw her a party? On one hand, we suppose Hope accepting Carter's proposal when she rejected Thomas makes sense. No longer is she fresh off her split from Liam. In fact, in between Thomas and Carter, Hope went through a whole out-of-nowhere fixation on Finn. So maybe enough time has passed for her to consider remarrying. On the other hand, why on earth would Hope say yes to Carter when she said no to Thomas? Heaven knows, Thomas is no saint, but he never reneged on a coup on Hope. And he never stayed at Forrester after Hope was pink-slipped. Carter did. In fact, if Liam hadn't conveniently received a terminal diagnosis and brought Hope and Steffi together again, Hope would still be out of a job. At Carter's loft, Hope tells him it made sense that he misunderstood what she said to they sit and cuddle, and Hope says it feels good to be back to this. Carter hated betraying her. Hope recalls the kiss with Daphne. Carter laments how he handled things and promises Hope she'll never feel that kind of pain again. Never. Hope missed the loft and wants to have a game night soon. Carter tells her to wait right there. Close your eyes. No peeking. When he returns, he kisses her cheek and places a glass of wine in her hands. He's also lit the candles. Carter wants to give her an escape tonight. They both need a few hours to reconnect and think about their future. Cheers to us, he says, before they each make a toast. In Forrester's design office, Daphne gets a text from Deuce that the jet's being fueled and he'll be there to pick her up soon. She wonders if leaving is the right thing to do. Steffi walks in. Steffi's never seen Daphne like this. Daphne thought they were friends. How could she bring Hope back without telling her? Steffi knows he developed feelings for Carter. This is more about Carter than Hope. Daphne cries that she fell for him. She actually thought they could build a life together. Now he's gone back to Hope. Steffi and Daphne discuss Hope and Carter being back together. Daphne thought they were done for good, especially since Hope was recommitting to Liam. But that was all a big misunderstanding. Daphine's embarrassed she put her feelings out there, and this is why she doesn't fall in love. She's going back to Paris. She asks Steffi, "Aren't you furious though, seeing her here?" Steffi's not thrilled. Suddenly, Deuce appears to pick up Daphne. Steffi needles him, and they banter until he grabs Daphne's suitcase. Daphne and Steffi say they'll miss each other and embrace. Daphne thanks Steffi and goes. At the Cliff House, Liam pops a pill as Finn comes in from his run. Suddenly, Liam nearly collapses. Finn rushes over to grab him. "Hey, Liam, easy. Are you alright?" He helps Liam over to the sofa to sit down. Finn asks how often this has been happening. Liam admits it's happening more often, increasing in both frequency and severity. "I think I'm getting closer." Finn brings Liam some water and asks if he's decided about the treatment yet. Liam ruminates sarcastically. He tells Finn the treatment it's all he's been thinking about. If it could extend his life, it's a no-brainer, but he's also seen his mom go through chemo and radiation, and it was horrible. He doesn't know if he can do that to his daughters. "I'm not sure what I'm going to do." Liam thanks Finn, who insists he hasn't done anything. Liam isn't just talking about now, he's talking about what's to come when he's gone. Finn cautions Liam, but he needs to say this when he's not there to hold their daughters or comfort them, or walk them down the aisle at their weddings. He's counting on Finn, and maybe Carter, to be there for them. Finn would be honored. Liam shakes his hand and they embrace. On the Forester jet, Deuce checks to see if Daphne needs anything else before they take off. She asks for more champagne. He says, "My kind of girl," as he pours more. Deeply inhaling, he tells her the plane has never smelled so good. She thanks him. He counters, "Thank you," before returning to the cockpit. Daphne flashes through her memories of Carter as her heart breaks. At Carter's loft, he tells Hope she's at the center of his future. She feels the same way. He says she's the woman he's always dreamed of. Carter thought it was a fantasy that he would have a wife or kids. He marvels that the woman of his dreams has been in front of him this entire time. "Seems like fate to me." Carter expresses his love and his desire to make her happy and fulfilled. "Assuming you'll let me." With that, Carter gets on one knee and pulls out a ring box. He opens it to reveal a stunning diamond engagement ring. "You're the only woman I want to spend the rest of my life with, so will you make me the happiest man in the world, Hope? Say yes, say you'll marry me." Hope exhales and looks at him with wonder. The bold and the beautiful spoilers reveal that during the week of May 26, 2025, while Electra Forrester does rip into her rival, will actually have a weak moment and give in to temptation? Keep reading and let's talk about what could happen with this storyline. It seems that Luna's focus is divided, and it's certainly not on the right things. Half the time, Luna is fixated on John Finnegan. Then, the other half of the time, she's fantasizing about Will. During the upcoming week, expect Luna to be thinking about Will again after being rejected by Finn yet again. Of course, maybe the point is that without her father, Luna's fixations turn more dangerous. Back to the present, Luna will get an idea about how to connect with Will. Luna shares her idea with Sheila Carter Sharp. However, Sheila warns her granddaughter that this isn't a smart move. Luna really should listen to the reformed villain. If supervillain Sheila is telling you it will backfire, then take the advice. Luna does not take Sheila's advice though. Being the naughty girl she is, Luna texts Will a scandalous and tempting text message. The bold and the beautiful spoilers reveal that after that text message, there is a confrontation between the two girls. In the past, Will has been pretty open to Elektra about Luna's advances, so there is no reason to think he will keep this a secret from her this time. There is also the official B and B spoiler that Elektra and Luna get into a brutal brawl. In fact, Sheila is forced to break them up. Elektra has stood up to Luna before. Elektra even grabbed Luna's arm at one point. It's never gone beyond that, though. Elektra really doesn't seem violent unless she's really provoked. A simple text message would anger Elektra, but probably wouldn't make her violent. Will Spencer's weak moment? So it is possible that the reason why Elektra gets violent with Luna is that something actually happens. Does Will have a weak moment and give in to Luna? It wouldn't be hard to see Luna spiking Will's green tea or even slipping him some of Penelope Poppy Nozawa's magical mints. In a dramatic twist that rocked the Forrester family to its core, a mysterious woman claiming to be the late Stephanie Forrester appeared at the gates of the estate, declaring her return. Dressed in tailored gray and exuding uncanny familiarity, she introduced herself with chilling confidence, triggering disbelief, suspicion, and chaos throughout the Forrester clan. Within hours, the revelation spread across the estate. Brooke Logan was stunned into silence, Ridge Forrester was visibly shaken, and Eric Forrester immediately called for the woman's removal. Despite Eric's skepticism, believing DNA could be falsified, no one could deny the woman's precise recall of deeply personal family moments, from childhood injuries to private confrontations. But a critical inconsistency unraveled the mystery. Thomas Forrester noticed a detail the woman got wrong about a scar Ridge sustained as a child, something only the real Stephanie would know. Quietly launching his own investigation, Thomas unearthed the truth. The DNA belonged not to Stephanie, but to a distant cousin manipulated through advanced gene splicing technology. Despite growing doubts, Steffi Forrester, longing for connection, welcomed the imposter and entrusted her with Forrester Creations' newest couture collection. Meanwhile, Brooke remained deeply suspicious. Tensions escalated until the imposter seized the runway at the collection's debut. A court official then revealed the shocking truth. The DNA was fabricated. The woman was not Stephanie Forrester, but Celia Marno, a former European fashion prodigy whose career had been decimated by Forrester Creations' expansion years earlier. Her appearance marked a calculated act of revenge. The fallout was immediate and devastating. The collection was sabotaged and leaked to a rival house, the company's stock plummeted, and Eric suffered a stroke. Steffi retreated from public view, while Brooke assumed temporary control of the board. Trust within the Forrester family fractured. Behind bars, Celia's plan continued. Working through a former Forrester intern, Margot, who held a grudge after being dismissed by Steffi, Celia launched a multiphase attack. First, edited footage was leaked to implicate Thomas in the impersonation, leading to canceled contracts and public distrust. Next, falsified documents suggested Steffi knowingly collaborated with the imposter, shaking investor confidence. Lastly, a fabricated voice recording implied Brooke was complicit, reigniting past scandals and forcing her resignation. Celia's new fashion house, Maison Marno, launched with a vengeance. The brand's debut outshone Forrester's fall collection, drawing praise for innovation while Forrester was branded outdated. Internal crises escalated. Thomas disappeared from public view, Steffi's marriage faltered, and Hope walked off the runway during her own show. The internal sabotage continued unchecked until Donna uncovered Margot's covert actions through a security log discrepancy. Using a sting operation, Donna exposed Margot's connection to Celia, resulting in her arrest for corporate espionage. Yet even behind bars, Celia remained undeterred. Her damage to the Forrester dynasty was severe, financially, emotionally, and reputationally. She had proven that even the most iconic legacies can be infiltrated and dismantled from within. Now imprisoned in Marseille, Celia Marno waits, not as a defeated criminal, but as a strategist biding her time. Her message is clear: revenge is not a single strike. It is a slow, methodical dismantling of everything once held sacred. After a period of intense emotional strain, The Bold and the Beautiful delivers a compelling development in Liam's ongoing health crisis. While Grace initially presented a bold but high-risk treatment plan, it was ultimately rejected by Liam, whose personal trauma with a similar procedure left him unwilling to proceed. With Finn unable to contribute any medical solution and Grace conceding her limitations, a sense of finality began to settle in. However, an unexpected arrival at the Cliff House brings a shift. Dr. Bridget Forrester steps in with a new perspective. Having reviewed Liam's medical scans, she proposes a less invasive treatment approach, one she has used successfully in the past. Bridget's method is not a cure, but it offers a meaningful chance at extending Liam's life with fewer risks. Her confidence, backed by clinical experience and her role in helping Finn save Eric, injects new hope into the situation. For the first time in days, Liam begins to reconsider his decision. He asks quietly if the treatment could really work. Moved by the moment, Steffi encourages Liam to accept the new plan. Her emotional plea underscores the gravity of the situation and the thin line between hope and despair. Liam, once resigned to letting nature take its course, begins to imagine a future he had already dismissed. The episode closes on an emotional cliffhanger. Will Liam take this second chance? Is Bridget's treatment the breakthrough they've needed, or just a temporary reprieve? Furthermore, does her return signify a deeper re-entry into the Forrester family's lives?